Now, before you pack that spin-a-night bag on that person that you spinning the block with, I think that we need to have a quick conversation on how to make sure that this go round is a little bit better than your last go round. But first, the intro. And welcome back to another episode of the Daily Donna with me, your hostess with the mostest, Dr. Donna. I am your sex and relationship therapist in the Washington, D.C. metro area, the author of Drink Water and Mind Your Business, A Black Woman's Guide to Unlearning the BS and Healing Self-Esteem. And let me tell you right now, not only have I helped clients successfully spin a block and sometimes shut that block right off, but I have also been a block spinner myself. I am married to Mr. Boo Thing, of which this is our third time at bat. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why we failed the second time and how you can do a better job of making sure that it is all good when you are trying to spin a block. So here's the thing, recycling is always a delightful little thing. Sometimes spinning the block is not, though. And recycling things with that ex, with that lover, with that person from way back when, it feels like a good idea. You know why? Nostalgia. Nostalgia is one hell of a drug. And there are studies outside that talk about how nostalgia almost always skews positive. That means that you don't remember exactly what happened. What you remember is what you created in your mind. And quiet as it's kept, some of us will make ourselves into the villains. We'll talk about the things that we didn't do well at the last time while we are in that space of nostalgia. So we will take any blame on ourselves while also overestimating how much we've changed. Sometimes we may underestimate it, and sometimes you overestimate how much they changed. The problem here is that while you are estimating and guesstimating, you're probably getting it wrong, which is why it's not going to survive a second, third, fourth, 15th attempt. Spinning the block always sounds like a good idea because, again, recycling. And I know low key, high key, some of you won't say it, but you're also worried about catching extra bodies because you are very much part of body count culture, which doesn't mean anything. BT dubs, a video for a completely different day. So, how do we make sure that while we're spinning the block, we don't get caught up in some nonsense? Well, in order to successfully spin the block, you got to take about three steps. You need to look back, you need to look here, and you need to look there. See, simple. You got it. It's like, nah, when I say look back, you got to look at not just where you fell, but where you tripped. Right? That's an African proverb that you should look not where you fell, but where you slipped. A lot of us are looking at when the day we broke up, right? We are thinking maybe even about the day before, the day of, and even the day after the breakup, depending on how long your breakup lasted. However, I would bet you that y'all were breaking up a little bit longer than whatever it is that you think. Most people they're breaking up months in advance, already starting the part where you're disconnecting from this person, where you are a little bit harder to find, a little bit harder to hear. And everybody still says that this breakup came up out the blue. No, it didn't. The breakup didn't come up out of the blue unless they called you yesterday and broke up with you today, right? And even then, chances are there were some signs that there was something a little bit off, a little bit amiss. Whether or not we are willing to admit that to ourselves, that is a separate question altogether. But where it comes to the breaking up, you have to look at where you tripped, where you slipped. Because if you only look at the breakup itself, then you miss all the things that sort of led into it. Maybe it was things that was left unsaid. Maybe it were promises that were broken. Maybe it was somebody stepped out on somebody. Whatever it is, you have to have the full conversation and be ready to take both responsibility and accountability. Responsibility is what you did, task-oriented stuff. Accountability is outcome oriented. The outcome is y'all broke up that first time, baby. That's the outcome. You broke up. So, what role did you play in the breakup? That does not mean assign blame. It means understand your role. We all play a role when the relationship dissolves. What role did you play? That's the question for you to understand for yourself. The second thing that I said to do, right? I said, we looking back. Now we're looking here. We're looking here because right now you're looking at here with these glasses that are painting a completely different story based off what the past was, but only the good parts, because nostalgia, it's one hell of a drug. You don't want nostalgia to be the thing that makes the decisions for you on what's been to happen. Nostalgia is delightful for TV shows some of the time. It's delightful for knick knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone, whatever it is, it's good for those things, but it is not good for planning your future on, because nostalgia never gives you a clear view. So, in the here and now, what actually changed? That's your work to figure out what is actually different from what was yesterday or your yesteryears, whatever, to what is going on in the here and now. I will tell you right now that me and Mr. Boothang, we didn't do that the second time we got together. We just got together without talking about anything that broke us up the first time. It was when we got back together the third time, or when we were talking about getting back together the third time, that's when we were able to be like, okay, this is where I've changed. This is where you've changed. This is what I want. This is what you've got to have the conversation. A lot of y'all want to skip yourselves right into the part where you're so in love, where you're love struck, where you trying to get it down bad, but you don't want to do the part where you work for where you're trying to go, which brings us to number 3. Where are you going? What is the purpose of you spinning the block with this person? Now, if you're just trying to get some, get some. Who's mad at you? Not me. Do what you got to do, but also make sure that you're being honest with them about what it is that you're doing. If you're spinning the block because you actually want to try again to do what? Are you thinking about lifelong partnership? Are you thinking about marriage? You thinking about having kids? What is it that you are ultimately wanting to do? The both of you need to be on the same page so that you can avoid giving each other any further harm. So what I'm saying is that in this 3-part thing, you got to look at what was, what is, and what will be, or at least what you're hoping will be. If you don't look at the past, Sankofa, your present, here and now, and your future, then what is the purpose of spinning the block at all? And I'll say this, if it's because you're feeling lonely tonight, get a toy, call a friend. Leave that person back in the DMs where they belong. The point is this. Far be it from me to tell you never to spin the block, right? It is very easy for a bunch of people to say, never spin the block, never spin the block. I did spin the block. I spent that block because when I met Mr. Boothang, I already knew what he was for me. Whether or not it worked out the first or second time, that's something different. But the third time it did work out because we had those real conversations about what happened the first time and the second time, and what we wanted to see happen this time and moving forward. So I can't be sitting here with a whole ring on my finger and tell you to never spin a block. I'm saying, but before you pack your spin a night bag, make sure that you're spinning the block on someone that's worth the effort, that is worth your time, and that you actually see a possible future with. Because otherwise, what's the point? All right. And because I recognize that people are going to try to spin a block anyway, I am going to also offer you my relationship goals guide. No, it's not free. But the relationship goals guide basically maps out all the questions that may need some answering, as well as the next steps to start planning for that future if you find that y'all are on the same page. So go ahead and grab the relationship goals guide. You know where it is. It's where all the links and all the stuff is in the description. And I will see you tomorrow for what? Another Daily Donna, where we're having conversations with a what? Therapeutic edge. And if you have a suggestion for something that you would like to see covered, then please do use my suggestion box. Why? Because I'm always looking for a suggestion or two. All right, y'all. I'm out. Bye.